right, everybody. We are live on the Real Talk 100 Radio Power Hour, where every Tuesday we try to get together and we uplift, we empower, and we encourage small business owners. Tonight is no different. We have the president and CEO of the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Bobby Lieb, is in the building tonight, y'all, and we're going to learn all about what the Chamber of Commerce does. Now, I realize that other regions are going to be tuned in tonight, and you may not be able to apply or register with Mr. Bobby Lieb because he's in the Northwest Chamber. Now, I understand they have the Woodlands Chambers and Cypress Chambers and probably Pasadena and Kemah and wherever you might be listening from. But our goal tonight is for you to understand exactly what the Chamber of Commerce can do for your small business. That's the goal tonight, no matter where you live. We want you to know because a lot of small businesses don't understand exactly what they can get from the Chamber of Commerce or how they can benefit or how it can be a mutually beneficial relationship. So that's why I've worked effortlessly for the last, almost 2 months, Mr. Lee? Almost 2 months trying to get this gentleman in the building. I wanted to get the Cypress Chamber and the other affiliate chambers with him. I think he said the Woodlands and Cypress, y'all work closely together. Tomball. I wanted to get them all together. Maybe after this show, maybe we'll get them all on the panel very, very soon. Before we get started with the show, if you have a small business in the Houston or greater surrounding areas and you would like us to create awareness about your small business, all you have to do is text POWER to 936-333-1969. That's text POWER to 936-333-1969. Why? Because we're all about uplifting your small business, encouraging your small business, and empowering your small business. Now, with no more further ado, we're going to get to Mr. Kenneth Wayne, my co-host here, and see if he has any thoughts on this upcoming week, or excuse me, this past week, or any thoughts at all about what's in the news or this upcoming show.
It's rodeo time, baby.
Rodeo time. You're not no cowboy, man. You are not a cowboy.
I got boots, bells, and a buck. I'm a country boy. What you mean? I've been rodeoing my whole life.
I didn't know that, man. I never seen you in a pair of caimans or ostrich or anything.
Sir.
So you like the rodeo? So are y'all looking to see a particular rodeo act, or you just like it all?
I think I'm going to see Bun B Friday night.
Bun B, this upcoming Friday night?
Yeah.
Do you know who else is going to be starring in that show?
Manny Fresh, 8 Ball, MJG, and Juvenile so far.
Oh, okay.
I haven't said anybody else yet.
Okay. The rodeo, y'all heard it. Friday night, y'all. Friday night is going down, y'all. I can't wait. I like it all. You know, I'm an MTV baby, you know. I like it. I like a little bit of country, a little bit of rap, a little rock and roll. I like it all.
So me too. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at the schedule to see exactly who's coming up and what day and time, so I can try to take Lisa out to the rodeo. We haven't been in a while, but before I go, I got to get the Cavenders, man. My boots are no good. I got to get the Cavenders boot.
That's why you got to shine them up and put them back in the box.
That's what I need to do. But I wear them to work. I wear them wherever I go, and I just put them in the closet. But I need to start putting them back in the box. You're right about that. So rodeo time. That's all you got for me tonight before we get started on the show.
That's basically it. I mean, it's just everything flowing. You know, business is business. So, you know, that's all we got to do. Try to meet those goals.
Try to meet the goals. Any pitfalls for you this week?
Nah.
No?
Been a pitfall since January the 1st.
Right.
Yeah, with this economy the way it is, man, everything is slow.
Yes, sir.
It is slow. I mean, it's a trickle everywhere. You got to fight for what you can get.
Fight. You got to fight for what you can get. I like the way you verbalize that because it is slow. It really is. And I know why. It's tax season. And people are waiting for those checks. Once they get those checks,
high as everything is, I don't think they better try to hold on to them.
You think so?
We're going into a recession.
Soon. Yeah. I believe that too. Yeah. Mr. Lee, what do you think about that? A
Well, that's
recession.
interesting you say that because I was a pretty strong belief that we were going to be headed into a recession as well. Probably a soft recession was my prediction.
Yes, sir.
Interestingly enough, the Greater Houston Partnership put out its Economy at a Glance report today, and now they're talking that there may not only not be a recession, there may be a growth in the economy.
Think so?
It's interesting. I know the inflation's got everybody kind of just being more conservative about their spending, but the job growth market continues to be strong. Businesses are still trying to hire, and believe it or not, consumer confidence spending is still fairly steady, fairly strong. So none of those have shown any signs of weaknesses just yet. So kind of the grand poobahs or the experts that are trying to say that maybe it's not going to happen at all, and maybe it'll even see more growth in GDP.
Well,
Start dropping some of them interest rates.
That would be amazing.
They better start dropping some of them interest rates.
Yeah, car sales are even starting to recover, even with the high interest rates.
Except for Toyota and I think it was Nissan. Toyota and Nissan, they're still trickling behind, but everything else, domestic car sales are coming back. Lots are full. I saw that the other day. So, and they were just saying Toyota and Nissan are not full yet.
Yeah, the inventory challenges with the supply chain issues are still a thing, but they're getting better. So that's always a good sign.
I've seen so many car lots closed down in the past 2 years. It's been ridiculous. So hopefully Mr. Lieb is right. Y'all, with no more further ado, we're going to get to this show tonight, y'all. We're going to get to this show. I want you to tag. If you're watching our live feeds tonight, I want you to tag all small business owners, period. I want you to tag them in our live feeds, in Real Talk 100 Radio's live feed. If you're watching on YouTube, tag them on YouTube, tag them wherever you're watching from tonight, because the president and CEO of the Northwest Chamber of Commerce is in the building tonight. His name is Mr. Bobby Lieb. We want you guys to familiarize yourself with the information that he's going to have for you tonight on how a small business owner can benefit from having a relationship with a chamber of commerce. Now, some of you might be asking, okay, well, I stay in Kemah, or I stay in Friendswood, or I stay in Pearland or Sugarland. He's the Northwest Chamber. I understand there are other chambers of commerce all over Houston, but he's in my building. So I'm trying to help him out so he can give you information on all other chambers of commerce. Is that correct,
That's
Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Mr. Lieb, my first question tonight is how can a business owner have a mutually beneficial relationship with a chamber of commerce?
Certainly. So and it's good that I'm here tonight talking with you, because our chamber, like many of the other regional or small regional chambers around the Houston area, really cater to the small businesses in the community. Small businesses make up the vast majority of businesses in America, and they are collectively the largest employers, more so than your large corporations. So small businesses are really what drive the U.S. economy. And so most of our membership is comprised of small businesses. And the beauty of that is when you interact with our chamber and our members, you're actually, because they're the small business, you're actually meeting oftentimes the business owner, the person who makes the day-to-day decisions on how they run their business. And so if you're seeking to foster a relationship with another business in the community, then it is in your best interest to be engaged with your local chamber of commerce. So as Malcolm said, there are a number of chambers of commerce scattered throughout the city, just like mine. As you said, there's the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, there's the Texas City Chamber of Commerce, there's a Chambers County Chamber of Commerce, Woodlands Chamber of Commerce, Katy Chamber of Commerce. They're everywhere in this city. There are Heights Chamber of Commerce. There's even an Acres Homes Chamber of Commerce. If you're a small business and you are located anywhere in the city, find that Chamber of Commerce that's within your service area and join it, because they really are the ones that can help you the most. And But the question you asked is how does the Chamber of Commerce benefit you? So first of all, let me tell you about the chamber side. Chambers of Commerce are funded by membership. We are membership-based organizations. We are all not-for-profit organizations. So we survive based on the local businesses paying membership into our organization. And in exchange, we deliver services back to those businesses in several ways. Some of them are direct. Okay, so businesses have three components, or chambers of commerce have three components. There's business development, there's economic development, and there's advocacy. So the business development, if you're looking for a direct benefit, that's on the business development side. And that is where we just had one this morning where we host networking events. Okay.
I saw that. I was jealous at Whataburger.
Yeah, we went to Whataburger.
I was jealous.
Whataburger, and so we have a member who each month a member will host the location, and we go to that place of business, and then other business people in the community come, and we don't charge for these because we want the Whataburger right down the street here at 1960.
So is Whataburger a member of your Chamber of Commerce? Okay.
Yeah,
That's I don't mean to cut you off, but I have a question by Miss Angeli. She says, is this the Spring Chamber of Commerce or is this the Northwest? This is the Northwest Chamber of Commerce located at 4201 Cypress Creek Parkway. I think she stays in Spring Branch.
So Spring Branch or Spring?
Spring Branch.
Okay, so Spring Branch, that would be the West Houston Chamber of Commerce. If you were in Spring Branch, you would want to join the West Houston Chamber of Commerce.
West Houston?
West Houston Chamber of Commerce. Yep.
Angeli, there you go. The West Houston Chamber of Commerce. She does quite a lot. She listed her businesses up here. She has I usually have her cups in here. She has cups with her logo on them. I don't have any tonight, but she has a Michelada mix truck.
Oh.
So she makes micheladas. You love micheladas?
I love micheladas.
Angeli, I got you. Looks like I got you a customer. It's called, I'm going to put it on the screen right now. That's the name of the truck right there, Trap Sauce Michelada Mix. And she has foods too on the truck, but I'm not sure I don't think she has a stationary location. I think she moves around. So Angeli, put some kind of information up on the screen to let Mr. Lieb know where you are sometimes. Where do you live, Mr. Lieb?
I actually live over in Humble.
In Humble?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're right there at the corner of the Beltway and 59 in Fall Creek subdivision.
I know where you're at. Beltway and 59?
Yep. So I come across the Beltway every morning to come over here to go to work.
Okay. Angeli, let Mr. Lieb know if you're ever in that area, and please share the video if you're watching. No matter which video you're watching tonight, share the video all over Texas. We want the business owners to know how they can benefit from having a relationship with the local Chamber of Commerce. No matter where you live, I don't care if you're in Fort Worth, I don't care if you're in Dallas, San Antonio, Austin. Tonight, our objective is to just get you some kind of information, because a lot of small business owners have no idea. I don't know what that's about, so I'm not going to get involved. And I knew about it, but I didn't know what you said a few minutes ago. I didn't know it was a nonprofit organization. I didn't know that. So all chambers of commerce are nonprofit organizations.
Yes, the vast majority are.
The vast majority.
Yep.
Okay.
Because they serve the community. And they work hand in hand with the local community to try and collectively benefit the community for everybody, and not just the businesses, but for everybody. But if you have a strong economy, obviously that translates into a stronger community. So you understand the relationship there. So for the purposes of being transparent, for the purposes of being open and available to the entire community, they are nonprofits.
Nonprofit organizations. Ken Wine, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. But one question I do have is, I'm from a small town.
Okay.
And what I've always known about the Chamber of Commerce, any businesses coming in normally go through the chamber.
Often they do, yes.
Yes, big businesses. So they look for approval from the chamber. Is that also true?
Yeah, so there is an element, I'll tell you two things. There's an element of status with that business. So if they can put a plaque up on their wall in their place of business says, I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, that comes with a level of status because it's sending the message to the people that walk in that business that they not only just care about their business, but they care about the community. And so there's that. The other thing that's really important to know, and that kind of fast forward to modern day today, where Google has taken over a lot of the functions that chambers of commerce did. It used to be in the old day in small town, like, hey, I need a plumber. Who do I call? And then you say, well, call your local chamber of commerce, and they'll help you out. Well, Google takes care of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do, one of the best benefits about joining a chamber of commerce, particularly small businesses, is everybody finds you on Google now. They find you on the internet. They don't find you in the yellow pages anymore. They find you on the internet. If you join a chamber of commerce and you end up in that chamber of commerce's business directory, your search engine optimization on Google goes way up. Google favors those companies and those businesses that are members of the Chamber of Commerce. If you have no other benefit that you want to gain from joining a Chamber of Commerce, it's that, because that's where customers find you now, is on the internet. It's still word of mouth. Word of mouth is still king, but Google and the internet are too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now let me ask you this. So does the chamber kind of line up the businesses? Because from my understanding, and this may be true and maybe not, as far as businesses coming in, like they keep the pays pretty much in the same category instead of a business coming in and just monopolizing the whole market in a certain area.
So the chambers of commerces do not tend to, they're not in the business of trying to influence the market. So they're not selective, and they have no powers to, but they're not selective or trying to pick winners and losers. Okay. It's really up to the business owner to determine how successful and competitive they are. I like to say that chambers of commerces we create a platform for you to engage, and then you get out of it what you make of it. Okay. So I can't sit here and say, well, this business gets to win, and this one gets to make all the money, and this one either is going to go out of business or doesn't get to set up at all. We don't get into that. We don't get into that at all. What we want is we root for everybody. So, and if I could give an example of that is, we have a fair amount of people who aren't even in business who call us and say, hey, I want to start a business. I want to go into business for myself. I want to, or I've got an idea. And so there's a number of free services that you can access that they're not us, but we facilitate that connection. So there's an organization called SCORE. It's free. It's a free service, and we merely facilitate getting people connected with SCORE. And you go to their website and you enter your information, and then they will connect you with a business advisor. And that business advisor will offer you free services on either how to get loans, how to raise capital, develop your business plan, help you with site selection, help you with marketing. The other one is the Small Business Development Center. And again, you can access those on the web. Used to be, we had office hours. Those organizations had office hours in our building. And then COVID hit, everybody figured out how to do it online, and they've just stayed online. But they still, once you get connected with them, they will schedule in-person meeting with you. But it's usually in their offices, or they may, in some instances, come to you.
It's a good thing to know, because I'm a small business owner. Malcolm has been a small business owner. He's a small business owner. And we took the lumps the hard way. We entrepreneured it from the ground up, with no help, no business plans, no none of that. We developed it as we went.
Sure. And you represent the majority of entrepreneurs and small business owners. They usually are an expert in their product, but they're not necessarily trained at being a business person. And there's some fundamental, like anything else, there's some fundamentals on knowing how to operate a business properly. And so you see a lot of entrepreneurs
Doing it backwards.
they get going, they get off the ground, they get it done, they make the mistakes as they go, trial and error. That's how we all learn.
Yes, sir.
But there, at some point, you'll come a time where you're like, maybe you stop growing, maybe you've reached a limit on the customers you've attracted, and you're like, how do I get more customers? Well, there's ways to do that, and there's very scripted ways on how to do that. Excuse me. And so that's what we do as the chamber is we very much are interested in trying to make all of our members or any business that walks in our door a better business person. And so we try to connect you with resources that help you get there. But you got to want to put the time and effort into it. And it's hard because when it's just you, you're
That's right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Not only are you trying to make the widgets work and get them out the door and mail your customers or provide that services, you're also taking out the trash.
Yes, sir.
So-
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are exactly right about that. We are partners at a restaurant right now. We've had another restaurant / daiquiri shop, and what you just said is so relative.
And
Because
and that's our challenge, and that's our challenge to figure out, and is how do we become better at connecting you with those resources, knowing that your day is extremely busy running the business. Zoom was a wonderful thing when it surfaced during the pandemic because people could stay at their place of business but still participate in our events. It of course has its limitations, but at the same time, it was a way that if you had a salon and you were in between appointments, but you couldn't take 2 hours out of your day to come to a meeting or a seminar, you could just sit at your station, pop up get your iPad open and watch the seminar from your iPad.
yes, sir.
Before your next appointment. So we're trying to get better at that. And it's hard because there's still a lot of value in person because there's nothing like human to connection, person to person connection.
Nothing like human to human connection. Nothing like it. We have a quick question for you. Hold your thought just a minute. Ken Wayne, I have a quick question from Angeli. Angeli, I don't want them to think we're ignoring them. Angeli says, where's the jurisdiction for the Northwest Chamber of Commerce?
That's a great question. So we have members all over the city, but our concentration of membership is from the Hardy Toll Road on the east side, kind of the airport, Hardy Toll Road on the east side. And then going east of that would be the Lake Houston Partnership over in Humble.
Mm-hmm.
So on the east side, Hardy Toll Road. And then 249 dropping down, we have a lot of members on 290 south of the Beltway.
Okay.
And then north to Spring Creek in the county line. And then kind of the Beltway, and we do have membership south of the Beltway, but our concentration is.
So it ends right at Spring Branch, right at 290.
Yeah, right. So once you get to Jersey Village, you've moved beyond our service area.
Okay. There you go, Angeli. She and Spring Branch would go to the West
Houston Chamber of Commerce.
West Houston Chamber of Commerce. And just rehash again what a small business owner what should they look forward to having? Which benefits? There we go. Which benefits should they look forward to having once they join the local Chamber of Commerce?
So one of the biggest misnomers that we get with particularly the small businesses is they think by simply joining the chamber that will increase the sales in their business, and it will not. As I said, we're a facilitator. So you have to not only join, but you have to actually take advantage of the membership. But we offer advertising to our membership. If you join our chamber, you get a free e-blast, which means if you're having a grand opening, if you're having a sale, if you're having a particular special event, or you're outrolling a new product, you get a free e-blast. That goes out to 4,000 unique emails. Okay. But then everyone after that, there's a fee, but it's cheap. I mean, compared to advertising and print or radio, no apologies, but we're cheap. $200 gets you an e-blast.
Okay.
4,000 emails.
4,000 emails.
Yeah. So you have benefits like that. As I said, we have networking events. So if you are looking for a business-to-business connection, okay. So let's say you make promotional products. Okay, you know, you put the logo on the mug or the keychain or the squishy ball or whatever. Um, you're looking for a business-to-business connection because you're looking for Real Talk Radio to buy your products with their logo on it. Okay, so we facilitate events that have business-to-business relationships. But reiterate, we do not, just by joining does not translate into more business to your business. You have to use it. But the other thing the other reason people join the Chamber of Commerce is we're a collective, meaning we work on initiatives that the individual business could not accomplish on their own. And that's the economic development and that's the advocacy component to it. So think about any other social or civic organization where the members pool their money to try and accomplish a greater good.
Yes, sir.
And so you have to have a bit of community investment, community and altruism when you join the chamber. So if you're looking to join just to benefit you and you only, you're going to be disappointed.
You have to be a teammate.
Yeah.
Long story short, you have to be willing to you have to be willing to help others grow too. I can't find the word I'm looking for right now. Facilitate their growth, just like you just used the word. Facilitate their growth, and if they happen to grow faster than you, hey, the team is winning.
Yeah.
Correct. I can't get people to understand that, and a lot of people, I know he understands what I'm about to say. You might, but when a lot of the teams that we join, if your business, say we're all on a team right now, and your business is growing faster, we all started at the same time, and your business is growing faster, we're going to have some haters. Right. Because, well, why isn't my business growing? Okay, well, your business is next. It's all about bringing each other up the ladder of success, correct?
It is, absolutely. So, think of your community as an organism, okay? And let's say one of you is the heart, or let's just say you're the group of cells that make up the body, okay? If any part of that organism dies, the rest of the body dies too. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And so it's okay for you to be in competition with each other. Competition's good. Competition makes you a better business person.
Yes, sir, it does. Yes.
Keeps you running scared. But you have to understand that if the local economy is healthy, everybody benefits from it.
Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody benefits from it.
That's right.
And as soon as that local community starts to shrink, as soon as its economy starts to shrink, that's when people start losing their jobs. That's when businesses start closing. And you might be like, well, hey, the local computer manufacturing company, I don't have anything to do with it. I'm a radio station. I have anything to do with that computer manufacturing. That business starts suffering. Okay.
Yes.
Your business starts suffering.
Yes.
They're laying off people. Fewer people are listening to your radio show. Fewer people are being able to advertise on your platform. So it's all interconnected.
All interconnected, all related, man. All related all the way around the globe. We are with, just to rehash, y'all, for those of you who are just now tuning in, we are with the president and CEO of the Northwest Chamber of Commerce right on the border of Spring, Texas and Houston, Texas. We're at 4201 Cypress Creek Parkway, Houston, Texas, 77068. He's in the same building with us, y'all. So I made a promise to myself at the beginning of January that I was going to uplift every business in this building. Every business in this building. We're going to bring them on this show at one point or the other. Today, it's all about the Northwest Chamber of Commerce, and the president and CEO is sitting right here. All small business owners, I need you to be tagged. If you have a friend who's a small business owner, tag them on this live video. Tag them. Share the video all over the world. We want all small business owners to know the benefits of having a relationship with I wanted to say a nonprofit organization, with a chamber of commerce. With a chamber of commerce, we want every small business owner to know what the benefits are when it comes to having a relationship with a chamber of commerce. Kenneth Wayne, did you have something else? I cut you off a few minutes ago. You remember?
Once you get to it once you get to the chamber, you're moving on up, like George and Wheezy. You know what I'm saying? You're no longer, it's good to be, like we discussed, it's good to be an entrepreneur, but at some point, and we talk about this always, you can never do it by yourself.
No, sir.
You can never do it by yourself.
No,
a lot
sir.
of people think that it's applicable to do it by yourself, but it's not. At some point in time, you're going to run into a point where you need some help.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and I've come to that fact, that realization, the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
It's hard out here, ain't it, man?
it's hard. I mean, it's really, really hard, and especially when the economy starts to suffer.
Yes, sir.
You're sitting there scratching your head trying to figure out, okay, which way do I go now? This is slow. That's slow. There's no money coming in. Well, and I preach this to my wife all the time. We have a at-home cake business.
Okay.
And my financial advisor told me, bake cakes till you got nowhere else to put them before you go in the bakery. Well, I try to preach the marketing technique to her all the time. And she didn't be trying to hear it.
The marketing
just
aspect.
Imagine if you had to pay for marketing.
Right.
I mean, you got to come up with ways to do it for free, but
Yes.
at some point in time, you got to pay for marketing.
At some point in time.
I mean, and it's not cheap.
No, it's not.
Marketing is not cheap.
No, sir.
And guidance is not cheap.
No, sir.
You have to pay some people. You go get a financial advisor, a business advisor, you got to pay them. It's
Yes,
not free.
Undoubtedly.
So Chambers are put, in place. I'm glad that he's here tonight because it gives me a little information, on what I need to do for my business. Because I'm sitting there scratching my head about, what's going on. It's the first of the year and I'm way behind. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
By this time, I made $50,000 or $60,000. And when you done made 20, you trying to figure out, you scratching, man, what's going on? What do I need to do? But without that guidance, what do you have?
Very little. Very little. And he touched on it earlier in the interview. Without that guidance, without some kind of a lot of small business owners are bumping their heads and bumping their backsides over and over and over again, through trial and error, learning through trial and error instead of learning the right way. And that's what Mr. Lee was talking about earlier. And I reached the realization, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, but through Harvey and the freeze and COVID, I haven't been able to apply it to life yet. But I learned years ago that just like your Tom Brady's and your Michael Jordans, they wouldn't have all those rings without a team.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, the statistics are not in your favor. It's roughly 83% of all new businesses in the United States fail.
Say it again, 82?
Roughly 83%
83%.
of all new businesses fail within the first 3 years. And so that's not a good statistic. And most entrepreneurs fail 3 times before they're successful. So you're not alone. A lot of people go through it. The beauty of it is you're in America and you get the opportunity to try. A lot of countries don't even have that. So,
Yes.
it's the American dream, but it's not easy. So
Most definitely that. Most definitely that. People see the
Glitz and the glamour.
Yeah, they see the guts and the glamour. They see the leaves on the trees, but they don't know how much it took to water it.
That's right.
I mean,
and that's where they got that old saying, fall down 8 times, get up the 9th.
yeah.
That's where they got that from, because small business owners might fail. And I try to instill this in as many people as I possibly can, that just because I'm the risk taker in my relationship, my girlfriend is very conservative with money. I'm the risk taker. Now, don't get me wrong. It's an educated risk. It's a calculated risk, but it's still a risk to her, and she's not having it. So I have to push her.
The beauty of it is you may not seem it because you guys are lock horns, but it takes both of you
Yes.
to make that work. You need someone who's got the ideas and who wants to take the risks, and you've got somebody who needs to check them at the door and say, wait a second, I don't know about this one. Prove it to me. Let me know, make sure this is a good idea. And so, because if it was just up to you, you'd have been out of business in 5 minutes. Okay.
Right.
But if you don't have someone always coming up with the new ideas, then you stall out.
Yeah, exactly.
And before you know it, new monies aren't creating new profits, and new ideas aren't creating new profits.
No.
And so it really, a good business model requires both. And so,
Yes.
and that's the other thing,
System of
particularly
checks
all
and
you
balances.
entrepreneurs out there, work on your self-awareness. Know where your weaknesses are. If you're really good at product development, or if you're really good at marketing, but you're not good at finance, surround yourself with those people that are.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying.
Preach it to it. No, we talk about that all the time. We
Yes.
talk about that all the time.
Right.
Because
Because
behind the scenes, me and Malcolm talk about that all the time.
we certainly do.
Yeah,
We certainly do.
I've seen it plenty of times in my life where I've been helping a small business and they have a great product. They can't keep up with orders, okay? But because they've become emotionally attached to their business, they can't let go, and they don't let people in who can help them get past the hump. And you've got to be able to set your ego aside. You got to be able to set your pride aside. You got to be able to say, I need help.
Yes.
And you got to be willing to
Yes.
spend the money and spend the time to let that help in your door.
Yes. You have to be open to that. A quick comment by Get Bodied. Get Bodied says, you said the small businesses fail within the first 83%. I'm not sure which comment she's commenting on. She's
83% of new businesses fail within the first 3 years. That's an old kind of statistic. It's probably changed a little bit by then, but that's kind of one we used to throw around all the time.
And she's bouncing off of something else you said. You said that small businesses usually fail 3 or 4 times before they succeed.
Your typical entrepreneur will fail 3 times
Okay.
before they're successful.
She said, well, I got 2 more times then. Oh. 2 more times.
That don't mean that you fail. You can fail today and pick back up tomorrow.
That's right.
I mean,
That's right.
That's what you look at. I mean,
And it's just, entrepreneurs, it's in their blood. They can't help it. So yeah, they'll have an idea, they'll run with it. It may not work, but because they've got that drive, most people would say, oh, heck with it, I tried it. And they go out and they get a job application and get a job and go work for the man.
Mm-hmm.
But, true blue entrepreneurs, it's in their blood. They want to be in business for themselves, and they'll keep at it until they have something sticks.
well, the most important thing is my model is to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of people don't understand what that means, but pivot means you go in at one thing and there's always something else you can branch off of.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a vein. You got one main vein and you got all of these things that branch off of it. Well, while you're doing that, you should, like, for instance, I've been an insurance agent for 20 years. So I started out selling life insurance. That's all I sold was life insurance. I started scratching my head. I was like, so what happens when this gets slow? So then I went into P&C, which is automobile homeowners insurance. Okay, what happens when that's slow? Well, then I pivoted over to Medicare, and then at the end, I said, well, what's going to be lucrative to me when those stop? So then I went into insurance adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to, most people have to learn. It's just not, people that get rich is not on one train.
Exactly. You're 100% correct. A successful business person is always evolving.
Always
evolving.
reading and learning.
If you develop a widget and think that is going to just sustain you for the rest of your business and the rest of your career, the rest of your life,
sorely mistaken.
Fooling yourself.
You know what I was told? I was told early on, a friend of mine, Mike Adams, shout out to you, told me, if McDonald's got rich off of making a Big Mac, then they would just sell Big Mac. But it's constantly changing. You know, they got the quarter pounder, they got the nuggets, they got everything. So you have
What a lot of people don't realize about McDonald's, and I don't mean to cut you off, but they make more money off real estate than hamburgers. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
You didn't know that?
franchise,
They do just like a bank.
franchise.
They'll take and franchises too. They take just like a bank does. They'll take our money and go and buy life insurance and real estate. That's what the bank does. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but they do. McDonald's does the same thing. They'll take their profits from the Whataburger, from the Big Mac. He's got my mind on Whataburger, y'all. He had a networking event at Whataburger earlier. They'll take their profits from McDonald's after payroll and bills, of course, and go and buy insurance and real estate. They've got real estate all over the world. I forgot the name of I don't think the real estate company is named McDonald's. It's named something else. I can't remember, but I read about it about 15 years ago. I was like, wow. I had no idea either.
Well, if I could give you an example, that my family's business, I worked for the family business for 25 years with my dad and my parents and my sisters. And we were in clothing manufacturing and retail.
Was that the business in Switzerland?
This was the business in California and Durango.
Okay.
Or Colorado. And we owned the building we operated out of. And then we took our profits and we bought other commercial real estate. And eventually the clothing business went out of business. But we still had the commercial real estate. So the business today, while we haven't made a backpack or a t-shirt since 2003, I think, the business still exists because it still owns real estate.
Still owns. See, it's sustaining itself
Yes.
through another branch of the business. That's what it's all about. That's what
Pivoting. I mean, that's what it's all about. A lot of people, and the thing that I try to preach to a lot of people, but they don't understand it, is when you go to open up a business, you have to think of what's going to be sustainable, not just today. A lot of people open up businesses because they want it to work today. Okay, what happens a year from now? Like say for instance, the big thing has been hair. And everybody gets some money. I want to sell hair.
Wigs and
How lucrative is that going to be a year from now?
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? But unless you plan on growing, but if you sell it out of your garage, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have someone a lot of people, and they've gotten spoiled on social media.
Yes. What happens if social media goes away?
And social media, it's just like a lot of people think, I'm gonna open up a club. Well, look at how long a club lasts before it changes names. When it comes out, it's the hottest thing on the market. 6 months later, where is it at?
A different name.
Different name.
Yeah. I mean, it is, if you are truly interested in being successful in your business, you really have to do your homework. Okay. So 2 things you need to be good at. You need to be good at relationships.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you need to be good at math. You got to know how to understand finance. What I try to tell people is if they're going into business because they want to buy themselves a job, meaning all they're really doing, their profits really only account for what would be their salary, then don't do it. Because owning your own business is hard. It is hard work.
Yes, sir.
It is not what people think it is. People think of the glamour side of it.
Yeah.
It is very difficult. And so you need to sit down and, like I said, work on your business plan. You need to know who your competition is. What's the market say? If you want to say open a club, well, you need to figure out how many clubs are in your area. And you got to figure out the customer base. And if you're going, wait, there's already more clubs than there are people who will patronize them, then you shouldn't open a club. You got to get into a growing market. You got to go find where people aren't. And you got to go, oh, wait, there's 600,000 people in this area, and there's only 2 pizza joints.
Only 2 pizza joints.
Maybe there's room for another pizza joint. And my pizza happens to have a unique flair to it because we use organic flour. I don't know, whatever that is. And that's your hook. That's your marketing. Okay. So you just, you've got to do that homework before you invest the capital, before you borrow from your family and your friends to open this business. And you find out that you didn't do the right amount of homework. So I really encourage everyone to do that. And try to do the math on the front end and say, I think this business not only will succeed, I think it has growth potential. That's when you should start opening. Otherwise, just go get a job. But it has growth potential, meaning it can grow to something much bigger than me just bringing home a paycheck. Okay.
That's and I talk a lot. Me and my wife struggle with this. I say, you just can't think about the money. It's not about the money. Like you said, it's not about the paycheck. Because if you don't put the thought process into what you're doing and you're just doing it for the money, guess what? That money runs out. When it gets slow, that money runs out. And what makes you unique from everybody else? That's what you have to do. Keep that edge to stay in front. You have to be unique. You know what I'm saying? You have to
stand out.
You that's right. You got to stand out. You got to do what somebody else is not willing to do.
That's right.
And I mean that's I was always willing to do that.
Yes.
That's what made me successful. I was always taught to do that.
Yes, sir.
What makes you different from everybody else?
What
would make you want? You got 50 people out there baking cakes. Okay, so what makes us different from this person? Well, okay, we got a unique talent in decorative cakes. So therefore we switched, we had a mentor and he told us, he said, well, you got to distinguish yourself. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to kill yourself making $25 cakes? Or are you willing to use your talent?
Make a $400
and your cake start at $150. Instead of making 5 cakes to make $150, you make 1 cake to make $150. You're not kidding, because she was killing herself. It was a burnout. Everybody come. She was doing. He said, and we was like, well, we're gonna lose our business. And he said, no, you're not. You may drop off for a little while, but it'll come back because you set yourself in a category away from everybody else. Okay, so when we did, people call us all the time. Can you make us cookies? Can you make it? No, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not worth it. We're in a different category now. So, and I preach that all the time. What distinguishes you from everybody else? It can be 50 cake bakers out there, but if they'll make a cake for $50, you can have it. You know what I'm saying? If you can make it for $50, you can have it. I'm just not worth me firing my stove. I tell a lot of people it's not worth me firing my stove up for.
No.
So that's what a lot of people have to understand. What distinguishes you?
Yes.
When you're making that business plan, what will sustain you? Sustaining you would be the differential of you and somebody else.
Yes.
Because leaders stand out in front of the pack, not with the pack.
Not with the pack. That's right. And I have that problem with Lisa. Mr. Lieb, I don't think you've met Lisa before. I usually have a banner up there. You probably seen her walk into the building and just didn't know who she was. My partner is like this. We already look better than everybody because of, our, not our merchandise, because of our branding. We usually have our truck branded in the same logo. We're already doing more than everybody else. Why do you have to keep investing? And I'm like, Lisa, we have to stay ahead of them.
They coming.
We have
if
to.
If you stand stagnant,
yes,
you look around and you're surrounded by everybody else.
Right. They caught up.
If you stand stagnant, if you put nothing into it to move forward.
That's right.
You stagnant.
I struggle with her with that. She, like I told you earlier, she's very, very conservative. She doesn't like to take risks. And I'm like, Lisa, we have to. I know we look better, but we're just like, I can't get my words together right now. But what I'm trying to say is where we might be strong, somebody else might be weak. and vice versa. So just because we look better, we might not sound better. We might not look better on the screen than they do. We might not have a videographer, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure we're ahead of everybody on all facets, not only just looking good. I want us to sound good. And when we walk somewhere, I want us all to be, branded. Yeah, that's. Yeah, she doesn't understand that. She thinks that we should just stop where we're at, and she doesn't understand that this old mixer here, another station will have an up to date mixer. This is antiquated equipment here. It's old equipment. This other radio station might have new equipment, more proficient, faster than we are. I want to be faster. If we stop, Lisa, they're going to catch up to us, just like Kenneth Wayne said. Sorry to get off subject just a little bit. We are with the president and CEO of the Northwest Chamber of Commerce, located at 4201 Cypress Creek Parkway, Houston, Texas, 77068. His name is Mr. Bobby Lieb. If you're in his region, which goes from where to where again?
Harding Toll Road on the east, over to 249 on the west, to Jersey Village down to 290, and then County Line, Spring Creek to the north, and Beltway and a little bit below the Beltway to the south.
To the south.
Yep.
Where am I at?
I think
South is that way.
Where we are.
South is that way. Okay, got you. If someone in your jurisdiction wanted to sign up,
Yeah.
how do they go about doing that?
So what we've tried to do, we've tried to obviously be in the 21st century, like a lot of other businesses, and be accessible online. And so we've made a large pushes to be accessible via the internet. You can gain just about everything you need to know or information you want from our website. That's HoustonNWChamber.org. You can even apply online. You can, and we have different options. We have a annual option, which is the traditional way you join a chamber, where you pay for an annual membership. But you can also put a credit card on file and pay monthly. So we have a monthly option, just like you would gym membership.
Is that the website there?
That's it right there.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
So, so that's, and we try to put everything you need to know about the membership, what you get from the membership, all the different events that we have. It should be all there on the internet. If it's not, you can email us or give us a phone call, and we'll be happy to answer it for you. And if you want to come down to the office, we welcome you to come down to the office. But again, we try to make it as easily and as accessible as possible.
I'm putting the website on the screen right now. It's www.houstonnwchamber.org. That's www.houstonnorthwestchamber.org. It's on the picture on the screen, and it's also in the comments. I'm going to put that on the screen as well for good measure. Get Bodied is loving this. Get Bodied is a small business owner too. I'm not sure what else she does, but she's a social media influencer. If you didn't know this, a lot of the social media websites, social media is like Instagram, like Twitter, like TikTok and Instagram. They're paying people to simply create content, and that's one of the things Get Bodied does. She's a weightlifter. I think she does calisthenics. She does all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not able to watch her as often as possible, but that's what she does. That's why she has that name, Get Bodied. That's not her real name. That's her influencer name. But y'all, if you're located in the Houston area, I consider this the Northwest area. It's right on the edge of Houston, Texas, and Spring, Texas. And you want better results. You want a team that stands behind you. Contact the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce. Before we end this interview in about 10 or 15 minutes, Mr. Lieb, I want to make sure we disseminate all that these small business owners can gain by joining their local chamber of commerce. I know we've already talked about it a little bit. I just want to rehash it at the end of the show. They get a team first and foremost.
Right.
And then what?
So, as I said, we were talking about how do you get your brand out there? How do you get your business known and aware? And word of mouth is still the number one way you get your business noticed. So if you're joining the chamber and you're interacting with your fellow chamber members, it is more likely that someone is going to refer your business if you've established a face-to-face contact with them. I'll give you a good example, personal example. So I wear glasses, obviously, and I needed new glasses. And the last pair I got from Warby Parker, which was that online, glasses. I was not happy with it. Sorry, Warby Parker. And so I set out to find a local optometrist. Well, we had a local optometrist join the chamber, and she showed up at our networking breakfast, and she said, "I'm so-and-so, and I'm here, and I've got a new business, and I'm a UH grad, and I need a new book." And so a month later, I was like, "I need new glasses." And I went, "Oh, Arzo." I remember her, called her up, made an appointment, and she got however much these glasses cost. I don't remember. A lot of money glasses cost. So, So she gained a customer by showing up at a chamber event. So
She gained a customer by simply showing up.
Yep.
Simply showing up. And when you join, whether you live in Friendswood, Pearland, Sugarland, whether you live in Tomball, the Woodlands, no matter where you stay, there's going to be a local chamber of commerce. And the goal should be to join your local chamber of commerce, not only for your small business, but to strengthen the community, correct? Right. All right. So it shouldn't be, I'm going to join this chamber of commerce and my sales are going to skyrocket. They're going to skyrocket. My sales are going to skyrocket just because rehash that again.
Yeah. So if you are joining a chamber and that's all you do and have an expectation that your sales will improve as a result of joining the chamber, you're going to be mistaken. Although I did say earlier that if you join and you have a website, even in a Google search for your business, even if you don't have a website, your listing increases in Google if you are a member of Chamber of Commerce, because Google favors businesses that join the Chamber of Commerce. So right there, all your marketing dollars are spent. That cost of the chamber membership can be applied to marketing by improving your SEO ranking on Google searches. So that's how you could, as a small business, that's how you could benefit.
Did y'all hear that? I'm going to repeat that again. I love the way that sounds because it was just, we had a liquor store about Ken Wayne, 6 years ago, 6 years ago. We had a liquor store and someone approached me. I felt so ignorant, but I didn't know anything about SEO. I was like, I'm one of those guys that's going to play it off. If you talk to me and I don't understand you, I'll go look it up before I say, what is that? Yeah. So I went and looked it up. So I just found out what SEO meant 6 years ago. For those of you in the listening audience who don't know what SEO stands for, it stands for search engine optimization. Your search engine optimization skyrockets just by joining your local chamber of commerce, is what Mr. Lieb is telling you. So Google, let's use Google for an example. Your optimization goes up. I mean, so if you sell liquor, if you sell shoes, hats, whatever it is, if they put hats in, your optimization, your chances to be at the top of the list goes up just by joining.
So if there's two hat stores in the same shopping center, and one's a chamber member and the other is not, you're going to come up higher in the search than the one that's not a chamber member.
Small business owners, there's lots of great information tonight. We have about 10 minutes left in the show, and we got to get out of here. This is the Real Talk 100 Radio Power Hour tonight. We're with the president and CEO of this company right here, the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce. It's located at 4201 Cypress Creek Parkway, Houston, Texas, 77068. If you are looking to strengthen your bond within the community and strengthen your small business at the same time, this is the business to contact, the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce. And as I've already said, this is the president and CEO of the company right here. Hey, y'all. Hey, I don't see how you can lose, especially if you want to be a part of a team, especially if you want tighter bonds within the community, tighter relationships within the community. You can't do it alone. We've talked about that earlier in the show. All three of us agree on that. And I hope other small business owners that are listening agree on that as well. I don't care what line of business, what industry you're in, you need help.
Let me, if I could give you an example of that.
Yes.
So there has been pretty much since I've worked here at the chamber, everybody who I interact with talks about what can we do to help FM 1960. That's, or Cypress Creek Parkway. That's the street that we're both on. And it's got some challenges. It's got some blighted and abandoned properties. It's got some crime. And it really needs a facelift.
Yes.
And so, and I had a lady who approached me at our networking breakfast. I was barely in the door, and she has a business on 1960, and she's like, "What can I do? What can I do to help fix all the problems we're having on FM 1960?" And I said, "Well, sit down, have a seat, because we're going to have a long talk." So the chamber, when you invest in the chamber has for several years now been working on an initiative to create a management district. And a management district, and there are examples of them all over Houston. Management districts form, and they're collectives where the businesses pay into a fund, that fund pays for resources to fix the problems in their community. And so it pays for safety and security programs. It pays for vandalism repair. It pays for litter cleanup. It pays for building repair. It pays for signage. It pays for beautification. And so that's one of those examples where not one business can do it alone. That business owner can't fix the problem on her own. It's going to require all the businesses up and down the corridor to come together to participate. And the problem is it's in everybody's best interest to help participate in that, because if 1960, I hear numerous times people say, "Oh, I don't go down on 1960, it's not safe." And I know it's not totally true, because this is a really busy corridor. And we surveyed our members, and 95% of our members, when we asked them the question, "Do you patronize businesses on 1960?" 95% of them said yes. So they're lying in a bit, but still there's an issue and people don't feel completely safe.
Right.
So how do we turn that perception around and create it safe? So even if your business is not on 1960, but you're in the area, your business is likely suffering because of the perceived problems that exist on this main corridor.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir. Just like our daiquiri shop, our poor daiquiri shop. Guess I'm going to give you two guesses why we suffered. It wasn't in this area, but it was in a comparable area that had a notorious reputation for being a bad area. I'm going to give you two guesses.
Where?
Yes.
Well, this is terrible because
close to here. Within.
First one's always Greens Point. Now, I want to give a shout out to Greens Point. If you haven't been down to Greens Point lately, you got to go down there. They are having a renaissance. The place is turning around. Their crime is just plummeting every year. Their crime goes down about 20%. Because they have a management district. They have invested the time and the money to improve the area. And I know it's got the reputation, but the reality today is not what the reputation is. So my hat's off to Greens Point.
It's spring now.
Let me give you a little history.
You suffered from a perception problem, not a reality problem.
Perception and COVID.
Oh, COVID. Well, that's
We opened up. We opened up 3 months before COVID locked down the city.
That'll do it.
3 months.
That'll do it.
We had no idea. We just thought, we heard it in the news, but we didn't think they'd shut down the entire.
I was in the same boat. I'm like, oh, this thing, it's not coming to America.
Right.
Oh, it's in America. Oh, we'll be back open in 2 weeks. How? So
Yeah.
I'm as ignorant as the rest of us.
Yes, sir. I never felt dumber. 3 months, and 3 months, and then 3 months later, we have to shut our doors. Are you serious?
Yeah.
3 months later. So anyway, we moved to that area because the 5-year plan was to make it like the Galleria area. That's what they told us when we moved in 2019. We moved in the building, we cleaned it out, everything, and got everything in our name. And 5 years from now, it'll be like the Galleria. So we're like, okay, we'll take our lumps for 5 years. 5 years, Texaco is going to be back, and Shell Oil is going to be back, and Baker Hughes is going to be back, and we'll be just fine. No, that didn't happen. So salute to Daiquiri Soul. That was the name of it. I missed that place. But tonight, y'all, we are with the Chamber of Commerce, the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce, and we're down to the end of this interview. We got about 2 minutes left, and we got to get ready for a meeting. In the last 2 to 5 minutes, is there anything we may have left out that you do for the community or that you do for small businesses at the Houston Chamber of Commerce?
Well,
Houston Northwest Chamber.
Yeah, I just reiterate that the Chamber of Commerce sets the stage. The Chamber of Commerce is vested in every business being successful, whether you're a member or not, because it benefits the community as a whole. It creates jobs. Those jobs hopefully pay well enough that improves people's standard of living. And then the community rate gets better as a result of that. So we set the stage for you to be successful, but you got to put in the work. The other is that see us as a facilitator. Okay. See us as a point of contact to get you to where you need to go. If you have a question about, how do I write a better business plan? We'll help you get there. We'll connect you with the people you need to be connected with. We'll do that. We're not going to write your business plan. You're going to write your business plan. But we're going to put you in charge. We're going to put you in touch with the person who's going to help you write that business plan. So, that's see us as a facilitator. Don't be afraid to reach out, ask us questions. There's no stupid questions. You wouldn't believe some of the questions that come in on our phones. So there's no stupid questions. They're funny sometimes, but there's no stupid.
Give me the funniest one.
I can't remember that.
I can't wait to hear this one.
The biggest challenge we have is because we have Houston in the name of our business, people think we're the Houston Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
So sometimes they'll want to know, when you will get calls, when's the next cruise ship, leave Galveston? You have to call Galveston for that one.
The next cruise ship, really?
It's that old adage, call your Chamber of Commerce. So sometimes we get we get some funny ones.
Some funny questions. Don't call Mr. Lee with no funny questions, y'all. Kenneth Wayne, before we end the show tonight, I know I took over tonight, but I want to make sure you get all your questions out and concerns.
I mean, the thing about it is, if you want to run a business and you want to be successful, you have to get out in the community. You have to join forces with other people. You just can't stand alone. And that's basically what we touched on tonight. You have to get out in your community. It's just plain and simple. You just can't walk in your office and when you walk out, you close the blinds and shut the door and put the key in the door and lock it, and that's it. It doesn't work like that. I suggest that you join your local chamber or some kind of group. If you want to grow, if you want to sustain, you got to do that. So if you don't, then trouble is coming. Trouble is coming. So that's basically what we touched on tonight was great. This was a great show, I think. There's a lot of things I learned that I didn't know and that I need to do. You know, so you know,
Okay. Awesome, y'all. If you're just now tuning in, I see people are tuning in and out. Please share the video all over Texas. We did this for not only Houston, Texas, but all business owners around the states, all 50 states. All 50 states share this video. Share this video because I'm sure I'm positive because Mr. Lee touched on it earlier in the conversation to where whatever you do here at the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce, that's pretty much what happens globally.
We're not all that different from each other, and different communities have different economies, and so some communities are tourism-based economies, and so they will focus on trying to grow their tourism base. The chambers down on Galveston Bay, they're heavily dependent on the port and the businesses and the refineries around the port. So they have a different feel, a different focus, but fundamentally we're all the same.
Yes, sir.
So it really is, find your local chamber of commerce and get engaged with it. And there, I guarantee you, if you're in the Gulf Coast area, there is a chamber of commerce near you, because we have a collective coalition. We all get together once a month, and we are somewhere in the area, and there's a lot of us.
quick question,
Sure.
and I know a lot of people going to ask this: do you have to have a brick and mortar
No, sir.
to join the chamber? Can you be a home-based business?
Absolutely. You just have to be a business. And brick and mortar this day and age is
It's going to the wayside.
well, it'll be around. You can't get your nails done on the internet, so you're still going to have to do that. But it is evolving, and so much technology has allowed the marketplace to move into a virtual space. But if you're strictly online, if you're strictly working out of your house, absolutely. If you are engaging in commerce, if you are making sales for a product or a service, then you're a business, and you have every interest. You should have every interest in belonging to your chamber.
Awesome. I had another question, and you know how it just goes away. I can't explain it. I just went away.
It's called age.
It's called age. Age is probably what it is. But you don't have to have a brick and mortar. You just need to. You need a want. I'm trying to verbalize this. You have to want to be a part of the community. To join a chamber of commerce, because it's a team.
We have some members that aren't even in business.
Okay.
They're individuals, and they join because they see the benefit of the chamber.
That's what I was trying to verbalize.
Back to the community.
They see the value in giving back to the community, so they join. So you don't even have to have a business. You just want to have
primarily business, but we have a membership level that is for individuals.
Okay.
And they're listed in our directory by name.
Okay.
By their name.
Okay. That was my question. How affordable are the fees?
So our base level membership is $400 a year or $40 a month. And they're tiered memberships, and they go up from there all the way up to investor level of $10,000 a year.
$10,000 a year. So from $400 a year all the way to $10,000 a year.
And each level has a different level of benefits. And then we have what we call investor level. Those are more of our basically we have our two hospitals, HCA Houston Northwest and Houston Methodist Willowbrook Hospital. 3 hospitals, and CHI St. Luke's in the Vintage. They're all at that investor level.
Okay.
But they're larger enterprises. But most of our members are at the $400 level, which is engaged level. And then the next one up is Business Builder. That's at $800 a year. Most of our members are in those two ranges.
Are there any month-to-month plans, or is it all one-time payment?
You can join and pay monthly.
Okay.
Yeah, either or. And so again, knowing that most of our businesses are small businesses, we try to create an option that it was affordable, because cash flow is an issue, and you may not have $400 in any given month. So we created a monthly plan, and it's an automatic renewal. You just put your credit card on file, and it's just like your magazine subscription or your newspaper subscription, just like your gym membership. Same model.
Okay.
And it's a tax write-off.
That is the end of our show. You got everything out?
That's it.
That is unfortunately the end of our show. I carried it on as long as I could tonight, y'all, but we have some guests out in the lobby, I believe, and we have to get to them almost immediately. So we have been, for the last hour and 22 minutes approximately, we've been with Mr. Bobby Lieb, the president and CEO of the Northwest Chamber of Commerce, Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce, located at 4201 Cypress Creek Parkway, Houston, Texas, 77068. I'm sure they can Google the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce and get the phone number.
HoustonNWChamber.org or 281-440-4160.
Here is the website right here. And repeat the number.
281-440-4160.
Y'all go to that website and get all the information you can. www.houstonnwchamber.org and get all the information you can. Contact Mr. Bobby Lieb, the president and CEO of Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce, soon. If you want to tighten your relationships within your own community, they do a lot within the community. They have meetups and they have networking events every month, all month long, or is it just once a month?
We have a number of events every month.
Every month you can meet up with local business owners, other business owners in the community. Y'all can meet up, you can network and talk about strengthening each other. That's what it's all about. That's what the Power Hour is all about: uplifting, empowering, and encouraging small business owners.
Let me plug one more thing.
Okay.
Next Tuesday, a week from today,
Yes, sir.
at the Willowbrook Mall from 4:30 to 6, we have our Nexus Northwest, which is our small business expo. So 36 of our members will have we have a business expo, a little tabletop expo. It's open to the public. Come on down. There'll be free food, free beverages. Visit with our local businesses, pick up some swag. And so again, 4:30 next Tuesday, Willowbrook Mall.
4:30 next Tuesday.
In the foyer right by Nordstrom Rack.
4:30?
4:30 to 6.
4:30 to 6 p.m. next Tuesday.
Yep.
You know what date that is?
It is March 7th.
March 7th.
Yep.
I suck at typing. Y'all forgive me. March 7th at Willowbrook Mall.
Yep.
And what's the name of the event?
Nexus Northwest.
Nexus Northwest. Small business owners in the Spring area. You want to be at Willowbrook Mall at the Nexus Northwest what?
Nexus Northwest.
Oh, that's the name. That's the name
It's
of
a
the
small
event.
business expo.
Okay, Small Business Expo. The Nexus Northwest Small Business Expo is at Willowbrook Mall next Tuesday, March the 7th, from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Show up and network with the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce and look for this man's face right here. I'm sure he'll be right there with a big smile on his face, right?
I'll be there.
All right, y'all. Y'all join us every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. to approximately 8 p.m. where we uplift, we empower, and we encourage small business owners. Tonight, we were with the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce. But if you want us to create awareness about your small business or your business, all you have to do is text POWER to 936-333-1969, and you'll be sitting right where Mr. Lieb is right now. Good night from me. Good night from Mr. Kenneth Wayne, my trusted co-host, and good night from the president and the CEO of the Houston Northwest Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for coming tonight, sir.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Next time, I hope you can get the Tomball and Cypress, and all of y'all can sit here and we can talk about business. Okay?
We're cats that are hard to herd.
Cats that are hard to herd. Oh man, cats are hard to herd, ain't they?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's why they not count.
All right, y'all. Y'all keep it locked to Real Talk 100 Radio the rest of the night. I'm sure we're going to play a lot of Southern soul music. If you got an old soul that likes Southern soul, Tune in to Real Talk 100 Radio, and we're also going to play a lot of independent and underground music artists. Why? Because we're looking for the next Beyonce. We're looking for the next Kenny Chesney. We're looking for the next Jay-Z. We're looking for them, y'all. We want to find them, and we want to take them to the next level. We support underground music all day, every day. We support small businesses all day, every day, because we are the underdog, and we stand with them. Good night.